A few years ago, I had a cow. It was an interesting cow. I'm an old farmer. I've practically spent my whole life breeding dairy cows, and I've seen so many, but I've never seen one like this. She wasn't just smart, she was terribly tenacious. I don't know what it was about genetics and whether it was possible, but this cow clearly had some kind of donkeys as her ancestors. She didn't want to stand in the stall, chew hay, and give milk. At some point, she clearly decided that this was not the fate for her. This cow decided that she deserved better. From the moment she decided that, she began to get out of the stall and out of the barn in every way she could. She did not escape. Having got out, she stood not far from the cowshed, as if waiting for me, and showing with all her appearance that she got out again, she outsmarted me again. Vladimir Ivanovich, I can't do it anymore. Your cow has escaped again, Nina, the milkmaid, with anger in her voice, told me the news I already knew. Yes, I see. Do not worry, I answered the milkmaid. Look at that, your shameless face, standing there as if nothing had happened, yelled Nina, already pointing at the cow. Rockbella was standing on a knoll near the farm, shaking her ears and mooing audibly in response to Nina's accusations. That's right, the cow's name was Rockbella. I had never been in the habit of giving names to the cows, but some sort of record had to be kept on the farm. The cows had passports, and each one had a number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those options didn't work for us. The cow number, just like a car number, had both numbers and letters. They displayed the cow's breed, date of birth, and other data. Our super smart cow was given the number P0463LA at birth. Perhaps this combination of letters and numbers made some adjustments to the fate of this animal or influenced her mental abilities. I don't really believe in such things, but when the cow began to be different, performing her exploits in the form of escapes, the question of what would be her name came up.
Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now back to the story.
One day, the milkmaid Nina noticed that if in the number of the cow that was on the clip on her ear, the number 4 was taken as the K, the number 0 as the letter O, and the 6 as the letter B, and the 3 as the A, that is just what you can read Rockbella. It's complicated and confusing, but the name stuck, and the runaway cow became Rockbella. That is the complicated story of the complicated name of the complicated cow. But it was not the origin of her name that made our cow most famous. She performed a real heroic deed. Here's what happened. Our farm stood by the road by the highway, and my house was next door. I had already gotten used to the fact that from time to time, passing travelers drop in to see us, to get a drink, to ask for a phone call, to charge a phone, to pull a car out of a ditch with a tractor, or with something else. It didn't happen often enough to be annoying, but people need help. Besides, I spend quite a bit of time at the computer. A farmer's job isn't just shoveling manure. There are hired workers for that. The same as tractor drivers and milkmaids. Sometimes one of them comes in right at night. They see that my light is on in the window, so I take such visits normally. I don't have little kids that would get scared and cry. My wife and I don't have any kids at all. Once upon a time, we had twin children, a boy and a girl. It's been quite a few years since then. I still try not to think about it, and forbid my wife to think about it, but we don't even mark any dates. Our children died in an accident. They were 13 years old. Back then, our farm was just starting to develop. We were on our way from town with purchases for school, uniforms, backpacks, stationery, and shoes. Back in town, the kids started arguing about who would have the front seat. Actually, Mom would be there. It's her place, I said, but Mom said it was okay. Her ear ached, my son said. It was summer, it was hot in the car, and my wife opened the window, so she got a cold. In the morning, her ear ached, and she wanted to move back and give her seat to one of the children. They argued, and the boy was more nimble and took the front seat first. The daughter took offense, pouted, and sat down next to her mother. I hated it when the kids fought. I could already see by my daughter that the fight was going to drag on. She wouldn't talk to her brother until the evening and definitely wouldn't come out for dinner. I don't like it that way, or rather, I didn't. As we drove out of town, I pulled over to the curb and opened the front door and told my daughter to sit next to her brother in the same seat. I knew we didn't have long to go and no cops would be there. You would do everything to cheer up your beloved daughter and prevent a boring evening in the family. My daughter's eyes sparkled. "Daddy says it's okay, so it's okay," my wife said. 3 minutes later, a drunk driver came flying out of the corner at us. I didn't have time to avoid it. They died instantly. Since then, all I do is forbid me to think about it, forbid me to talk, forbid to drink at work or in my farm, and forbid to touch my car. It is still in the garage. In the trunk, there are still clothes and school supplies we bought. I don't go in the garage. And then one night there's a knock on my window. Something's wrong again, I thought, and I went to open it. Who could it be? The staff knocks on the door, but here they knocked on the window. Probably a stranger. They saw the light from the monitor in the window. On the threshold was a strange-looking man. He was covered with earth and something red. I didn't want to think about the worst of it, but it looked like there had been an accident. His eyes looked kind of crazy. Must have hit his head, I thought. "A cow! There's a mad cow!" the man muttered. And then I think I knew what he was talking about. The cow must have escaped again and came out on the road. The man didn't see it in the dark on the highway, and that was the result. I put him in a chair, called my wife to help, and I called the watchman and the milkmaid Nina, and we ran towards the road. And what do we see? In the light of the lanterns, our cow was stomping furiously on the coffin. Where did she get it? There were no cemeteries nearby for her to dig it up. And anyway, how would this cow have dug anything up? Not understanding anything, we drove the cow away and opened the coffin. We were horrified. There were children in it, 2 of them, a boy and a girl. They were obviously twins, about 12 or 13 years old. They were alive, just sleeping in some kind of unnatural sleep, most likely drugged with some kind of pills. It was impossible to wake them up. They threw the coffin by the side of the road and brought the children to my house on the farm. And just now, we thought of the man. "And he ran away," my wife said. "He drank some water, pushed her, and ran away." In the morning, we found a shovel and a fresh grave near the farm, footprints of a cow. We didn't understand anything. When the children woke up, they told us that their mother had died recently. Since then, it was as if their father had lost his mind. Last night, he made them drink some juice, which was somehow bitter, and then they fell asleep. When their father was arrested, they found out that he had drugged the children with sleeping pills and decided to bury them alive so that they would soon meet their mother, who comes to him in his dreams and says that she misses them. He's out of his mind. Thank God our cow saw all that, felt that the children were alive, beat the man with her hooves, and dragged the coffin to the track. She couldn't open the lid of the coffin herself. She realized it was closer to the highway than to my house. What motivated a crazy father to bury his kids on our farm? Thank God we had a cow. "Do you know what day it is today?" my wife asked me when she brought the kids to the farm. "No, what day?" I didn't figure it out. "That day," she said, and she cried. The most amazing thing was that the twins had the same names as our dead children. It seemed someone had decided to give us a second chance. We adopted these children. The father was disenfranchised and sent to an insane asylum. We drove our car to pick them up from the hospital. The trunk was full of new stuff for our children. Life seemed to go on. Thank you for listening to the end. And don't forget to subscribe and like it, and click on the bell so you don't miss new videos. All the best.
If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.